What's good, everybody? It is Monday, April 17, 2023. This is your daily sports betting brand of record. We call it the Early Edge. We're powered, as always, by the almighty SportsLine, the best value in all sports betting, and it's not close. Now, sometimes you have days like today, and I know you're out there, excuse me, and you're feeling like, the start of my work week. I can't get out of bed. Pick yourself up. Get out of bed. Be progressive today. Be positive today. And understand that we are at the end of our week because we do things differently here in the Early Edge universe. Now, the epitome of a ho-hum day yesterday was the cherry on the sundae, really. Look at the X next to Propstarz' name. John Moran goes down with an injury. You can't control that, can you? Giannis, 11 minutes in, goes down with an injury. Once they start, you can't control that. That's sports betting in a nutshell, but we don't run away. We run towards the fire. And what do you need? We need a little pick-me-up. What do you need when you need somebody to take you forward? Let's bring in the stars of the show. You know them. You love them. And ladies and gentlemen, you missed them for an entire week, but look at that big old fat smile right there in the upper right-hand corner. First and foremost, live. Live with our soccer extraordinaire, Buckets. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Coach. I had a little bit of a timeout as I did go after Coach a little bit aggressively in the shows last week. But even when I wasn't in the show, I was still feeding winners in the chat. So I'm excited to be back in the spotlight, ready to go again this afternoon.
Yeah, we have addressed it. We are good. We are moving forward, correct?
Correct.
Yes? Okay. Very good. We'll leave that in the past. Now, he's his number one nemesis. And whenever Buckets is on the show, this man takes his performance just a little bit higher. He is the counselor of cast, Mr. Sia Nejad. Good morning, sir.
Speaking of addressing things, if you didn't notice, Buckets has a new address code with the top button. So I'm not sure if he's my nemesis or partner in crime at this point, but I'm all for it. Let's go.
I didn't even notice that. Wow. We've got Sia Buckets today. All right. I think we can work something with that. All right, now finally. Oh, he's out in these streets, and he is not happy today, ladies and gentlemen. I can promise you that. And I love this version of Propstarz because I know he's going to come out like a rabid dog. Propstarz, live from parts unknown. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Coach. Gentlemen, it's officially Bounce Back Monday at Propstarz HQ. It's all business all the time today, Coach. Let's go.
Let's go. Look into my eyes. All business all the time. And by the way, somebody in the chat says, Buckets wasn't fired.
Yet.
Now, we've got count them, two NBA games on tap. Everybody is playing today. So, that ever-popular game that you can also see on CBS Sports HQ every single day. Fade or follow. Here are the numbers. Sixers today, -10. Over those pesky Brooklyn Nets, and that's where we're going to start the total 213.5. NBA Sia, are you fading or following the Sixers to cover today?
I'll tell you, there's one of these games that I actually might place a bet on and may put a bet in on SportsLine later. It's not this game, though, but if I'm going to follow, it's going to be the Sixers -10. I just think they're too much for the Brooklyn Nets. Credit to the Nets. After getting rid of Durant and all their stars, they're really playing well. They got some dogs on that team that, by the way, the Phoenix Suns really could have used last night. But here we are. I really like what the Brooklyn Nets have done. It's just too much to play the Sixers at home. I think they lose by double digits.
It really, really feels that way. Proppy, do you agree with Sia?
I'm going to actually take the Nets here. I like this spot for them to bounce back. I expect the Sixers to win, but I think the Nets will be competitive. I saw enough. They play well together. Mikal Bridges really shouldering the offensive load. I expect a bounce-back performance from Spencer Dinwiddie, Cam Johnson. They have guys that can score. The Sixers still, to me, are just a little bit away from like where they were at their peak powers mid-season. I think the Nets can hang in this game.
All right, so we got one Nets and one Sixers. Unfortunately, there's only one man here that can break the tie. Buckets, your thoughts, fading or following the Sixers to cover today?
You know me and my NBA, Coach. I'm a real big NBA guy. Actually, the one NBA game I've ever been to in my life was a Brooklyn Nets game. So I'm going to be taking the Nets here. I'm going with my boy Proppy, and I think that that's good enough analytical work that I've done my part here with this one.
Wow. The only thing that can make this moment better than that atrocity of a analysis is the fact that, ladies and gentlemen, in the chat, as I tell you all the time, the crew is everywhere. The sniper, Matthew Snyder, in the chat. Any baseball questions? As there are, let me check my notes, 13 Major League Baseball games today. Any questions? Put them in the chat. He will answer them in real time. Now, we've got another game tonight. Thank you, Snake. Always following my lead. That's what you do, Buckets. It's about performance. Pay attention how Snake does it. So, somehow, the Golden State Warriors are -1 favorites. Big Cheesy thinks that I made fun of them yesterday. I did no such thing. I would never do that, Big Cheesy 707. So, total 239.5. Money line for the Kings, +105. Let's go back to the mean streets. Proppy, how are you assessing this one? Are you fading or following the Warriors as the favorite tonight?
I'm fading the Warriors, Coach. I just don't think you can flip a switch at this stage of the playoffs. The Warriors were a terrible road team all season long. People are sleeping on this Kings team. They won despite Sabonis, despite Huerter, despite pretty much every starter besides De'Aaron Fox having a subpar game. If these role players and complementary players step up tonight, I really think the Warriors are in trouble.
All right, we got the Warriors as one selection. Somehow, Counselor, the Warriors' price for this series, by the way, was -290. And I kept saying, what am I missing? What am I missing?
You're missing that the Golden State Warriors are going to gel, and partly because they have Wiggins back. So, I mean, I think that's a really big deal. Wiggins 1 for 8 from the three-point line, but he did a lot of his work inside, getting a lot of rebounds. I think another full game with him back is really going to be good. Listen, Proppy's right. There were a lot of guys for the Sacramento Kings that just weren't very good. Sabonis is certainly one of them, but Wiggins wasn't very good either. And I just think Golden State is just the better, the superior team over a full game. So I'm actually going to take the Golden State Warriors here. I think they win. I think they might even win the next 2 games as well. I think they go up 3-1 in this thing.
Wow. Look at NBA Sia, a pick and a lean. So, Buckets, I come to you. Once again, we have a tie, 1-1. Are you fading or following this small favorite, the Golden State Warriors? And by the way, if you didn't know, and I know that you do, they're the defending NBA champions also. Your thoughts?
Gotcha. The Warriors are, you're saying, correct? Not the Kings?
The Kinks?
Kings?
The Kings.
Ray
The
Davies.
Kings?
Kings. The Kings.
All right, let's get back on the track.
Yes, we are not talking about the Kings. Talking about the Warriors.
Gotcha. I am going to follow the Warriors. I do think the Warriors win this one. I am channeling my Sia today with the button up to the very top. But I also really like Sia's analysis that they just haven't been gelling in that first game. But as soon as they do gel, they're going to be a problem here for the Kings. I think the Warriors get this one. No problem, Coach.
Tom in the chat says, we need a week-long Coach Buckets showdown to settle ultimate superiority. I think from his benching recently that I think I proved who is the superior on this show. Did you like that week off, Buckets?
Benching, like sitting on the sideline. I thought you meant talking about my bench press, and I was like, Coach, I don't know. I've been getting pretty high up there on the numbers, but yes, I did like the week off, and I appreciate
What are you
that.
benching currently, Buckets?
No, we don't have to talk about that, Poppy. Let's just move on to the next segment.
Okay. Sia and Alex and myself, we pride ourselves on showing up every single time. Pride ourselves. Whoever asks us to be there when needed. You know, I mentioned 2, not 3, because we're everywhere, including right here.
Get breaking news,
Big news coming out of the NFL today.
highlights, and instant reaction.
The largest final round comeback in Ford championship history. We're down to the final 4.
I just want to take time to analyze greatness.
Talk winners and losers with a guy who's already a big winner.
CBS Sports HQ. It's all sports all day long.
All right. Dart Thrower says Bucket rocks. All right. It's time to pay. Pay. I'm talking like you too, Buckets. All right. We got 3 games today. Here are the favorites. We got the Rays. They kind of came back to earth a little bit over the weekend, and we knew that was going to happen. But they're on the road in that bandbox in Cincinnati, -145. Then the Blue Jays, who just humbled the Rays, they are -130 favorites in Houston. Interesting. And then the Dodgers, that become kind of my adopted home team, they are minus 165 favorites against the Mets. Interesting numbers here. Fascinating numbers here, which require analysis. So, Sia, let me come to you. Which of these favorites do you think will cover and win today?
Yeah, I like the Rays in a bounce back spot. I think Hunter Green has tremendous stuff, but I bet against him before this season, and it's actually cashed in for me. So I'm actually going with Jalen Beeks and the Tampa Rays to whether it's first five or full game. I understand these odds are for full game, but it's something I actually considered for first five. I think the Rays are the team to play out of these three.
I tend to agree with you because the other two, I can't believe the numbers are this high against two teams that we know at some point, Proppy, are going to get it going in the Astros and the Mets. Who are you following as the favorite you think will be successful today?
Yeah, I'm with Cousin Sia here as well, Coach. I just don't understand why the Blue Jays are favorited in Houston against a good Astros team that are going to get going sooner than later. I agree. I think this is a spot for the Rays that they can win. I've been impressed with the Reds, but I agree that Hunter Green can be gotten to. He does have great stuff, but he does give up a ton of runs as well. And we've seen these Rays bats be really solid so far.
And I said before the season started, I said, keep an eye on Cincinnati. They're going to be a great over team. Not a great team, but a great over team, and that's exactly what they have become. So that's 2 votes for the almighty Rays, first place in the American League East. Buckets, we come to you. Which one of these favorites are you following to the pay window?
Coach, let's make it 3-0 here because I'm also going for the Tampa Bay Rays here. When the MLB season started, I tweeted saying, I'm new to baseball, but I've decided the Reds are officially my team. And the comments were just Reds fans begging me not to be a Reds supporter myself because they knew that the team was not going to do good with me backing them. I then proceeded to watch some of these Reds games and watch them get absolutely smacked by Philly, only winning 1 game in their series of 4. And their last 8 matches or games have all had at least 8 runs. So they get in these slugfests where if Rays do have the better bats, they're going to run all over them, Coach. Give me the Rays here.
For all of you out there that are typing, stop messing with him, quit teasing him. How am I supposed to do that when he gives me stuff like that? I mean, come on. It's like putting a piece of candy in front of a baby. They're going to eat it. Capper Taylor says, you mean 3 for 3 buckets? You said 3 for 0. You mixed 3 and 0 and 3 for 3 together. That's next level capping right there. That's hard to do without thinking about it. Like, I don't even know how you just did that. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Well, I tell you what, that eventually, and I have a feeling it won't be too far in the future, you're going to see this incredible entertainment all over Galazzo.
Phenomenal! Absolutely magisterial here! Artilharia do Campeonato Brasileiro. Colpisce ancora! Golazo!
Real Deal Prime said it best. He said, just shake your head, Coach. Tomorrow is a new day. You are so correct, Real Deal Prime. All right, let's get into our board for the day because all kidding aside, when we get to this part of the show, it is serious, serious business. Now, Buckets, I'm coming to you because we have daytime soccer. And yes, we do have daytime baseball today as well, but daytime soccer. Mondays usually get 1 game from several of these big leagues. So, as I come to you, what game are you focused on today that you think you can give me my favorite bet, which is what?
Coach, you are, of course, talking about both teams to score, and we're going to the only EPL matchup of the day, that match between Leeds and Liverpool. And I'm taking the BTTS with a little bit of a combo here to get that juice down. Both teams to score and over 2.5 goals, currently at plus 105, plus odds across all the books. And I know what we're all thinking. Are we really going to trust Liverpool? Liverpool have been the perfect example of a yo-yo team here, Coach. When they are up, they're drawing against Arsenal. They're smashing Man United. They're beating top-tier teams. But when they're down, they're losing to Wolves and Bournemouth. And while this Liverpool side has been inconsistent under Jurgen Klopp this year, Leeds has something that makes them one of my favorite teams on earth to bet right now, and that is desperation. Leeds under new manager Javi Garcias are only 2 points ahead of Nottingham Forest in the relegation zone, which means no matter what happens in this game, they have to go for goals, and they have to go for the win. If they go down 0 or 2-0 in the first 5 minutes, it doesn't matter. They have to keep attacking. In their last 5 matches, Leeds has hit both teams to score and over 2.5 goals in all 5 of them, averaging over 4.5 goals in their games right now. This is a battle between two teams that when they play at Ellen Road, they normally see fireworks. And once again, at 3 p.m. this afternoon, I'm expecting fireworks.
I hate when he's really good. I hate it. I hate it. Somebody in the chat said, trust Liverpool. We should be worried about Leeds. Bradley Jacobs has your back. So when you don't know who's going to win the game, do what Buckets just did. And to bring the number down, because you can bet these separately. You can go over 2.5, both teams to score, but you put them together, see what happens, plus 105. That's how we save you a little bit of money if it doesn't cash, which as we know today, Buckets, it's will. It's will. Now, many of you are asking in the chat, how come you're not doing NHL this morning, Coach? Well, NHL has been all about lineups. It's all about goaltenders. I promise you that we will have NHL picks this afternoon and every single day, because who lives in the early edge and 5 pool? Who resides there? Well, he's the other Buckets of the brand. We like to call him EC. So he'll have some NHL picks today. Don't even worry about it. All right. I know that when we have a bounce back day, that Proppy is just sitting there seething. Well, hang tight a little bit longer. Because Sia, I'm coming to you. And the one thing that you've done amongst all the many is you have targeted certain bets already early in the season that we're starting to get a trend. Day after day after day, we're starting to catch these because you're finding that value. Where are we going today?
Yeah, finding that value in the first 5 market, where I've only lost one of these so far, and it was the Tampa Rays. And for Dart Thrower in the chat, you're right, the Rays did win yesterday because I mentioned a bounce back spot, but they lost 2 out of 3 in that series. So just something to point out. You're right that it's not technically a bounce back spot, but when the Rays lose 2 out of 3 at this juncture of the season, that's like a big time losing streak for them. But let's actually get to my pick. It's the Phillies first 5, where I'm truly targeting the pitchers like I always am in the first 5 market. You all know that, first of all, they play the White Sox. You all know that I've been betting on the White Sox quite a bit. It's usually when Dylan Cease has been pitching. I think the White Sox are a decent team, but I really like the pitching matchup here. Now, Lance Lynn for the White Sox, he's actually been pretty good as of late. He piled up 10 strikeouts against the Twins the other day, but he's still getting hit around a little bit. So the ERA and the hits, they're still there for Lance Lynn. Zach Wheeler, on the other hand, in each of his 3 starts, the first start, it wasn't very good, but the second start was much better, and the third start was much better than that. So he is kind of getting into a groove. Remember what Propstarz says. He says, well, I usually wait for, especially good pitchers, maybe a 2 or 3 game sample size before I really want to dive into like the K props and things of that nature. Well, listen, Zach Wheeler is pitching further into the game each time, allowing less hits each time and allowing less earned runs each time. So he gets to go to the Chicago White Sox and get a first 5 win at minus 120. I'm going to take that.
I want to make sure that I'm very clear and that I come to you correctly. Is it Major League Baseball Sia or just baseball Sia?
Yeah, it's MLB Sia, NBA Sia, PGA Sia. We're going to go by the acronym in each sport.
There you go. Educate and entertain. Knowledge is power. All right. Now, Taylor in the chat says, if EC is the best NHL capper on SportsLine, that's got to change. I agree, Taylor. I agree with that. Now, if you're a SportsLine member, though, you get Allie's picks. We have other people that make NHL picks. You just go into the game, you click on the little picks thing, and if there's one there, you got all the analysis. But you got to be a SportsLine member with us, and I'm going to do you a solid. Use a promo code EARLY. I'll give you 30 days for free. You get all of the cappers right here. Every one of their picks that they make on the show, guess where else it is? It's on SportsLine an hour earlier than this show. Very, very interesting. And speaking of SportsLine, I've got 2 plays from SportsLine today. We're going to the Astros on the money line. So we're going against the numbers. They're the underdogs at home. Also, I said all that about the NHL. You know I give you the old rope-a-dope. I got one play for you, and this is from Jeff Hockman. And look who shows up, Maddie Severance. We're going to go Stars on the money line, minus 140. You want all the analysis? They have it in the pick on SportsLine. Go there and read it for yourself. So now, out in these mean streets, somebody is lurking. Somebody is saying, you're going to give me 2 plays and 2 guys are going to go down hurt and go to the locker room? I don't play like that. I'm coming back on Monday for more. Propstarz, Maestro Spot, you're up.
I appreciate the vote of confidence, Coach. I want all the smoke. I live for these bounce back spots. Give me Spencer Dinwiddie over 24.5 combined points and assists. This is just too low of a number for him. The Sixers are a good defense, but Dinwiddie averaged over 25 combined points and assists in the regular season since being acquired by Brooklyn. He's also had double-digit assists in 12 of 26 games as a member of the Nets. That's why I prefer this combo line in comparison to his just regular assists line or his points line. He's also eclipsed this line in 16 of 26 games. He was on pace to play well over 40 minutes against the 76ers if this game was not a blowout. He finished with 36 minutes. This is just a really good spot, in my opinion, to back him. Coming off of a subpar performance for him, this number is just way closer to his floor than his ceiling. I would also suggest you pay attention to how he performs in this game, particularly if he gets off to a slow start. He is a notorious slow starter at halftime. He provides a ton of value in the live betting market. So if Dinwiddie gets off to a slow start, don't be discouraged. Also, check where he is at halftime. And if he is underperformed at halftime, he is almost always goes big in the second half. So something to keep an eye out for, Coach.
Keep an eye out for it. Excellent analysis from my man, Propstarz. Now, many of you are asking, where do I find this guy's pick? Lori says, hey, Maddie, where do you find your picks? Everybody that's in the chat, everybody that's on the crew, everybody, you can get all their picks at SportsLine. And after the 30 days, ask anybody in the chat, $10 a month. You literally spent that this morning. Always ruining my flow. Right in the middle of it, and guess who shows up again? All right, as I was saying, everybody's there. So come on in. Never been a better time than right here, right now. Yes, we will have boxing picks this weekend. I can promise you that. Ryan Garcia, take it to the bank. Knockout. Early thoughts on that, Alex?
I can't wait for that fight personally, Coach. I think those guys are fighting each other in their prime at the right stage. So glad this isn't like a Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather situation where these guys fight 10 years in the future. They're both in their prime. I just can't wait for this fight, but I do think Garcia is certainly a live dog.
All right. So I want you to sit on it, marinate for 3 days, and then on when are you next on the show?
Coach, you know I'm almost 7 days a week now.
Oh, that's right. See what I did there, Buckets? I just lead right into the answer. I'm just teaching as I go. So Thursday. No, let's do it on Big Pick Energy Friday. You are going to deliver me an excellent analysis and an official pick for Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Davis. Can you do that for me?
Can't wait.
Can't freaking wait. Grab your paper. Grab your pencil. Here is the recap courtesy of the Snake on the ones and the twos. Now, Buckets is on one play today. We're going to Leeds and Liverpool, the English Premier League. Both teams to score and over 2.5 goals. Put it together. It's like a same-game parlay, plus 105. Then the counselor. One play so far, but you know the man's a savage. If he sees something or sees something live, you better be following him on Twitter or you will get shut out. Phillies, first 5 money line, minus 120. Then Propstarz, one play so far. It's prop. And this is up again at SportsLine an hour early. 24.5 points and assists from Spencer Dinwiddie. We go over. Then 2 plays from SportsLine itself. Astros money line, minus 110. And the Stars on the money line in hockey, minus 140. Again, Jeff Hockman and Matty Severance both on this play at SportsLine. More picks coming up on Early Edge in 5 at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. And tomorrow, don't forget Early Wedge at 3 p.m. Eastern Time as we get set for the next week in golf. Good show today. Little bumpy with the return of Buckets, but hey, that's what you come here for. So with all that being said, there's only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. For my entire career, Lobo, Buckets, the counselor, Propstarz, Snake always behind the scenes. I am simply the coach. This is the end of our week. We do things differently. You know that. You embrace that. So take that out into the world. We grind for you so we can win with you. It's what we're all about right here at the Early Edge. Good luck.